students, in this chapter 1 real numbers, we already learnt different properties related to the integers such as Euclid's division lemma and fundamental theorem of arithmetics. Now, in this today's mathematics session, we are going to discuss some properties related to the rational numbers and with decimals. Fundamental theorem of arithmetics generates a general statement related to the conversion of rational numbers to the decimals to decide which type of rationals are terminating decimals. Now, to establish that general statement, I will start my discussion with the decimals. Already you learnt all these type of decimals and the conversions from decimals to rationals and rationals to decimals in your earlier classes, and just I recall all those things and then I establish the statement to check whether a given rational number is a terminating decimal or not, right? So let us start my discussion with the decimals. Look at the numbers on the board. For example, if I have some integers like -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, like that I will write different integers. Now have a look at this. The next integer for 2, what you say? After this 1, the next number is 2, and after this 2, the next number is 3, and we know that the next number for this 2 is 3, right? Okay. And now we are very sure that there are no integers between 2 and 3, and there are no integers between 1 and 2. There are no integers between 2 and 3. Okay. And now my question is, are there any numbers other than integers in between these 2 and 3? That's what we need to discuss. See, if you check, there are some other numbers other than integers in between 2 and 3, and we call those numbers as decimals. And for suppose, if you magnify the region between 2 and 3, if you represent the numbers which are in between 2 and 3, some of you may write them as like 2.1, see 2, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, like this. If you continue 2.9 and 3, these are the some decimal numbers which are in between 2 and 3. And now, are there any numbers which are in between this 2.2 and 2.3? And again, if you analyze, still there are some decimals which are in between 2.2 and 2.3. And if you write those decimals which are in between 2.2 and 2.3, you may write like this, 2.2 something. After the 2.2 we are starting, right? 2.21, 2.24, or you may write 2.256, like that. And still, if you observe, in between this 2.21 and 2.24, still there are some more decimal numbers like 2.21456, or otherwise some 2.2343434, like that. Is it clear? And there are many decimals in between this 2.21 and 2.24. And if you magnify and if you analyze, in between these two decimals, still there are some more decimals. That in the sense, if you observe all these things, between any two decimal values, still there are many other decimals that in turn represents that the decimals are infinite in between any two decimals, right? So we are starting with the numbers 2 and 2, 2 and 3. It is very clear that in between 2 and 3 there are no integers, but other than integers, if you check, there are some decimals. And if you take any two decimals, still there are some other decimals. And in between any two decimals, still there exists some other decimals. So there are infinite number of decimals in between any two integers, in between any two decimals in particular. Not only in between two decimals, in between two integers, and on overall, there exists infinite number of decimals along with the integers in real numbers. And now our discussion is about those decimals. If you look at a decimal like 2.24, for example, if I say a decimal like 2.24, in this decimal 2.24, we call this dot as the decimal point and the digits 24 as the decimal part of the decimal. And now, based on this decimal part, based on the digits of the decimal part, there are different types of decimals. You learnt all those decimals in your earlier classes, and now I am just recalling those types of decimals. Look there, see this is the decimal part, and what type of decimals are there? See, if the number of digits in the decimal part, if the number of digits in the decimal part is finite, that in the sense, if the number of digits in the decimal part terminates after a certain stage, then we call all those type of decimals as terminating decimals. Terminating decimals are the decimals in which the number of digits in the decimal part are finite, and the decimal part contains digits which are terminating after a certain stage, like this 2.24, or you may say something like some 219.34587. If you look this number 219.34587, the decimal part contains 5 digits, and after this 7 there are no digits, so we say that the decimal part contains finite number of digits, and the digits in the decimal part terminates after a certain stage. Terminating in the sense stops there. See, the digits will stop after a certain stage, that's why we call all those things as terminating decimals. And there are some other decimals which are not terminating, right? See, those decimals are mentioned as non-terminating decimals, and for these non-terminating decimals, the number of digits in the decimal part are not finite. The number of digits in the decimal part are infinite. If you look there, I will give you some examples related to the non-terminating decimals. For suppose if you start with a number like some 37.45666, like that if you continue. See, here the digit 6 is repeatedly continuing like this, and the digits in this decimal part are not finite, they are infinite, and the digits in the decimal part are not terminating. That's why we call these decimals as non-terminating decimals. Right? Here, this 45 is not repeating actually, this 6 is repeating. And we may have some other numbers like 7.3333 like that. And these type of decimals are also known as what? Non-terminating decimals, because the decimal part contains infinite number of digits. And I have some more digits, right? Some more decimals. If you look there, for example, I have a number like this, 14.171101712350117 and so on. If you look there, the number of digits in the decimal part is not following any particular pattern, is not repeating actually. And this is 17101710 like that, but repetition of digits not happens at this decimal, and we are not able to say the next digit after this 7. We are not sure about that, right? See, this decimal is also a non-terminating decimal. The decimal part contains many digits, but exactly we don't know what will come after this 7. So the digits in the decimal part not terminating, so these are also non-terminating decimals. See, at the end, based on the number of digits in the decimal part, we classified the decimals into two parts. If the number of digits in the decimal part are finite, they are terminating, and if the number of digits are infinite, they are non-terminating. These are few examples related to the non-terminating. And among these three examples, if you look, the first two decimals, in these two decimals, some digits after the decimal point are repeating, whereas in this example, the digits after the decimal point are not repeating. And that's why we call the last decimal as, actually it is non-terminating and the digits are non-repeating. That's why we call this decimal as non-terminating and non-repeating decimal. Non-terminating and non-repeating decimal. Now, look at the first two. Since the digits in the decimal part are repeating, here 3 is repeating, where 6 is repeating, this 4, 5 is not actually repeating, okay? See, some digits in the decimal part are repeating, and that's why we call these two decimals as repeating decimals. They are non-terminating, repeating decimals, and this is non-terminating, non-repeating decimals. And if you check, if you analyze these two decimals again, in the second decimal, all the digits in the decimal part are repeating. But whereas in the first decimal, this 4, 5 is not repeating and 6 is repeating, right? That's why we call the second one as pure repeating decimal. The second one as pure repeating decimal. And the first one as mixed repeating decimal. Have a look once again. See, we have infinite number of decimals between any two decimals. In particular, I am checked with between the integers 2 and 3. And if you analyze all those decimals, depending on the number of digits in the decimal part, depending on the digits of the decimal part, there are different types of decimals. See, if the number of digits are finite, if the digits in the decimal part terminates after a certain stage, we call them as terminating, or otherwise we call them as non-terminating. And in the non-terminating decimals, I code here few examples. For some examples, for some decimals, the digits in the decimal part are repeating, and for some other, the digits are non-repeating. See, if the digits in the decimal part are non-repeating, we call them as non-terminating, non-repeating decimals, whereas if the digits in the decimal part are repeating, we call them as, if everything is repeated, we call them as pure repeating. If some digits of the decimal part are repeating, we call them as mixed repeating decimals. See, this is all you already learnt in your previous classes, the classification of decimals. And now, we are going to convert these decimals into P by Q form, rational form. And after converting these decimals into rational form, we are going to generalize a statement from all those conversions, right? Have a look at this. Look at the slide on your screen. It represents the complete classification of decimals. Basically, decimals are two types as we discussed on the board. They are terminating decimals and non-terminating decimals. And again, if you classify those non-terminating decimals depending upon the repetition of digits in the decimal part, still we have two types of decimals, repeating decimals and non-repeating decimals. And among the repeating decimals, for some decimals, every digit in the decimal part is repeating. We call them as pure repeating, and the other type as mixed repeating decimals. And at the end, see, these terminating decimals, pure repeating decimals, mixed repeating decimals are rationals, whereas the last one, neither terminating nor repeating decimals are irrationals. That's what we are going to discuss now on the board. And now, let us start the conversion from decimals to the rationals. I will start my discussion with the conversion of terminating decimals to the rationals. See, we already know that rational numbers are of the form P by Q, right? Whereas terminating decimals are the decimals for which the decimal part contains a finite number of digits. For suppose, see, if I have a number like 0.375, or for suppose 4.7, and for suppose if I have a number like 17.32. Let us look all these numbers. See, all these numbers are terminating because the number of digits in the decimal part are finite. And now, how to convert these decimals into P by Q form, and further how to express that P by Q rational form into its simplest form, that's what we are going to discuss. If you look there, this 0.375, right? If you look there, there are 3 digits in the decimal part of that 0.375. And it indicates that actually, as per the definition of the decimal, this is 375th part of 1000. And since it has 3 digits in the decimal part, we will write it like 375 divided by 10 to the power of 3. Since there are 3 digits, we will write it like 375 to the power 10 power 3. And now if you look this 4.7, there is 1 digit in the decimal part. Since there is only 1 digit in the decimal part, and we will convert it into the P by Q form by writing it as the total number 47 without the decimal point divided by the number of digits you have to count. Here the number of digits in the decimal part is 1 and the denominator is 10 power 1. That 47 by 10 power 1 is its P by Q form, rational representation. Whereas coming to the number, that 17.32, if you look there, there are 2 digits in the decimal part. So while converting it into P by Q form, the numerator for P value, for numerator, you need to take the number without the decimal point like 1732. And coming to the denominator, since there are 2 digits in the decimal part, you need to write that those 2 digits, so 10 power 2 in the denominator. So these are the representations of the given non-terminating decimals into P by Q form. And after representing into P by Q form, and I am moving for the simplification, simplified form for the P by Q. See, the simplified form of the P by Q is just nothing but we need to do with the usual cancellations. If there is any number which is common for both P and Q, which is common for both numerator and denominator, you need to divide, you need to cancel out, right? Let us look here, 375. So you need to think about the 375. The 375 is actually nothing but 3 into 125. See, it is a multiple of 3. I will write it like 3 into 125, which is nothing but 3 into 5 cube. And now in the denominator, 10 cube. We know that 10 is a combination of 2 and 5. The prime factorization of 10 contains 2 and 5. Since it is 10 cube, that in the sense we can write like the 10 cube like 2 cube into 5 cube. And if you move with the usual cancellation, 5 cube is common for this numerator and denominator, it becomes like 3 by 8. And at the end, the P by Q representation, the simplest rational form for the given decimal 0.375 is 3 by 8. Whereas coming to the next number, 4.7. See, this is 47 by 10. See, 10 is nothing but the combination of 2 and 5. Look at there, 47 divided by 2 and 5 is the denominator. Yeah, is there anything common for both numerator and denominator? 2 is not common for 47 because it is odd. 5 also not there in 47. So this itself is the simplest P by Q form for the given decimal. Whereas coming to the number decimal 17.32, its rational representation is 1732 by 10 square. I will write it like this. 1732 divided by 10 is a combination of 2 and 5. I may write it like 2 square into 5 square. Now, there is a possibility to divide with 2 square because 1732 is a number which is divisible by 4. So, if you divide with this 4, how it becomes? 4 4s is 16 and I have 1 3, 4 3s is 12 and 1 2, 4 3s is 12, 433 divided by 5 square is the simplest P by Q form for the given decimal. Have a look once again. To convert a terminating decimal to a rational form, it's a direct task. We need to write 10 power the number of digits in the decimal part. Here there are 3 digits, so in the denominator I wrote 10 power 3, taking the complete number without decimal point as numerator. And for 4.7, remove the decimal point, write the number as numerator, and in denominator, since there is 1 digit in the decimal part, write 10 power 1. And for the number 17.32, 1732 divided by 10 square. Without decimal point, this is the number, and since there are 2 digits, you just write 10 square in the denominator. And these are the conversion of terminating decimals to the rational form. And after converting into rational, I try to simplify those rationals. And if I try to simplifying the rational number is nothing but expressing that rational number in its simplest form. Means we need to cancel out the common factors if it is any there for the numerator and denominator. For that such, I factorize the numerator and denominator. Since 5 cube is common, this results out 3 by 8. Here nothing is common there for both numerator and denominator. Further simplification is not possible. And here, see, the number 1732 is divisible by 4, and then this is the simplest P by Q form for the given decimal. Have a look at this, and this is the conversion of terminating decimal to rational numbers. Non-terminating repeating decimals to rational numbers. Non-terminating repeating decimals. Still there exist 2 different type of repeating decimals. One we call as pure repeating and the other one as mixed repeating. First, I am going to convert non-terminating pure repeating decimals into rational numbers. So let us start with a non-terminating pure repeating decimals. As I told you, pure repeating decimal is a decimal in which everything in the decimal part is repeated. For suppose I will start with a simple number 0.3 bar. See, 0.3333 like that. See, look at the number 0.333 like that. This is a non-terminating decimal because the decimal part is non-terminating. It won't end at a stage, it will continue like that. It contains infinite number of digits in its decimal part, so we call it as a non-terminating. And since 3 is repeating, we call it as non-terminating repeating. And if you observe, every number in the decimal part is repeating, right? That's why we call it as non-terminating pure repeating decimals. And now our task is to convert this non-terminating pure repeating decimal to a rational number. And first of all, if you look there, here since 3 is repeating, we say we will use usually 2 terms related to this repeating decimals, and one term is period of the decimal and the other thing is periodicity of the decimal. And if you look, since only one digit is repeating repeatedly, so since one digit is repeating here, that 1 is mentioned as the periodicity of this decimal. And since 3 is repeating here, and we call that 3 as the period of the decimal. Since 3 is repeating and that is only one digit and periodicity is 1, period is 3. So at the end, periodicity just represents the number of digits which are repeating in the decimal part, whereas the period represents the part of digits which are repeating, right? And then now, see, we have a chance to represent this 0.333 like 0.3 bar also. This is another way of representation, right? This is something related to the non-terminating pure repeating decimals. But actually our task is to convert this non-terminating pure repeating decimal to a rational number. Now, see, let us check how to solve this. How to convert this 0.3 bar or 0.333 into a rational form. For that conversion, first of all, I just let that the given decimal as some x. Actually, I need to convert the decimal into p by q form. I don't know the rational representation for the decimal. Just you let that rational representation as x initially. What is x actually? X is the rational representation for this 0.3 bar, or you may say 0.333 like that, right? See, there are infinite number of 3's here in the decimal part. And now, look at the periodicity of this number. See, only one digit is repeating here. Since one digit is repeating, you need to multiply both sides of this x with 10 power 1, right? See, if the periodicity is 2, you need to multiply with 10 square. If the number of repeating digits are 3, you need to multiply with 10 cube. According to the number of digits which are repeating in the decimal part, you need to multiply both sides of this with 10 power of that number. Since here only one digit is repeating, we need to multiply with what? 10 power 1, right? See, first of all, you just mark this x is equals to 0.333 as something like some 1. And then multiply this with what? 10x. See, with 10 I need to multiply with 10 power 1. 10 power 1 into x is equals to 10 power 1 into 0.333 and so on. And we know that while multiplying a decimal with 10 power, the decimal point moves right side as the power of 10, right? So this side it is 10x only, whereas 10 into this 0.333 will become like 3.333 and so on. And now you just mark it as equation 2. Look at there. Actually, we need to convert this decimal into rational form. Let x be its rational representation. So x is equals to 0.333. Since one digit is repeating, you just multiply both sides with 10 power 1. It becomes like 10x is equals to 3.333. My intention is finding the value of x, identifying the rational representation for the given decimal. For that, what I do? I just subtract the first equation from the second equation. Have a look at this. You just subtract first equation from second equation. Okay? If you subtract first equation from second equation, what will happen? Left side it is 10x and x. The subtraction will gives us what? 9x. Okay? Whereas right side it is 3.333 and so on. And this is what? 0.333 and so on. If you subtract, it results out 3.000 and so on. And at the end what I have? I have that 9x is equals to 3. Since 9x is equals to 3, and it is very clear that x is equals to, by sending the 3 that side, it becomes like 3 by 9, and that 3 by 9 is nothing but 1 by 3. Have a look at this. See, my intention is converting a pure repeating decimal to a rational number. It has, here one digit is repeated, and then I identified its periodicity as 1 because one digit is repeated. So as a part of conversion, first of all I let x be the rational representation for the given decimal, and I multiplied both sides with 10 power 1 because only one digit is repeated here. I multiplied with 10 power 1. If two digits are repeating, I may multiply with 10 power 2 again. Okay, and now see 10x is equals to this, and now we need x, so just do subtraction of these two numbers. 10x minus x is 9x in the left side, whereas in the right side we need to subtract this decimal from the second decimal, and it results out 3. And 9x is equals to 3, x is 3 by 9, and at the end the rational representation for the given decimal is just 1 by 3. And now see, look here, conversion of non-terminating mixed repeating decimal to rational now. See, we already discussed about the conversion from terminating to rational, pure repeating to rational, and here now mixed repeating to rational. Look here, the given decimal is 2.165 bar. See, the bar is there for 65. As I mentioned you in the previous case, here 65 is repeating. That in the sense this 2.165 bar is nothing but 2.165, 65, 65 and so on. Here if you look, how many digits are repeating? Right, 2 digits are repeating, and that's why we call the periodicity as 2. And since 2 digits are repeating and those 2 digits are 65, its period is 65. Actually, while converting, we just use that periodicity, the count, the number of digits which are repeating here. See, as a part of conversion, first of all, I need to let the given decimal as x. This x is the rational representation for the given decimal. We are going to find that rational representation, and I am taking that rational representation as x. At the end, I will find that x. There ends our task. So x is equals to 2.1656565. It is a mixed repeating decimal. First, what I do is, I will convert this mixed repeating decimal to a pure repeating decimal, and then I will continue with the process what we discussed earlier. See how to convert this mixed repeating to pure repeating. It is just, if you move this decimal point one digit right side, it becomes a pure repeating, right? So to move this decimal point one digit right, what I have to do? I need to multiply with 10, right? So first of all, we need to convert the given mixed repeating to pure repeating. For that, you need to multiply both sides according to the position of decimal point here, right? And now here I have only one digit which is non-repeating in the decimal part. So with that I need to multiply. So if you multiply with 10, 10 into x is equals to 10 into 2.16565 and so on. And this is 10x is equals to, and it becomes like 21.6565 and so on. And now this is a pure repeating decimal. So now look at the number of digits in the decimal part. 2 digits are repeating. So you just multiply with 10 square as we discussed in the previous example. Now if you multiply with 10 square on both sides, what we need to do? We need to multiply with 10 square on both sides. This side, if you multiply the 10 with 10 square, it becomes like 1000x. And whereas this side, if you multiply this decimal with 10 square, the decimal point moves 2 digit right side. If you multiply with 10, decimal point moves 1 digit right. If you multiply with 10 square, it moves 2 digits right. If you multiply with 10 cube, it moves 3 digits right side. Here 10 square. So if you multiply with 10 square, left side is 1000x, whereas the right side is 2165.6565 and so on. Have a look at this. 10x is this one, and since 2 digits are repeating, I multiplied with 10 power 2. So this is 1000x and this is 2165.6565. My intention is to find x actually. So now see, you just treat this equation as 1 after converting into pure repeating, and take this equation as 2, right? As we discussed in the previous case, you just subtract equation 1 from equation 2. If you subtract equation 1 from equation 2, look at the left side, 1000x and 10x. 1000x minus 10x is just nothing but 990x. Is it right? The subtraction of first equation from the second equation. In the left side it is 990x. And now coming to the right side. See, you need to subtract this decimal from this. So I will represent here 2165.6565 and so on. And this decimal is what? 21.6565 and so on. This side it is 90x, whereas this side we are going to do subtraction. Look there, this 5 minus 5 is 0, 0, 0, 0, and here 5 minus 1 is 4, 6 minus 2 is 4, and this is 2, 1. And at the end what I have? 990x is equals to 2144. What I need? I need to find x. X is the what? Decimal representation of the given decimal, and that x is equals to 2144 divided by 990. At the end, this is the decimal representation for the given decimal 2.165 bar. Now look at this. Actually, we classified decimals into different categories: terminating, non-terminating, repeating, as well as non-terminating, non-repeating. We discussed the way of conversion from terminating to rational, from non-terminating, repeating to rational. But now, see, look this. This is a decimal which is non-terminating or non-repeating. Look at the decimal here. See, the decimal part is 341270156. See, nothing is repeating here, and the decimal part is not terminating. So some digits will continue further. But exactly we don't know what will come after this 6. See, exact digits are not known after in the decimal part actually. Since exact digits are not known, then it is not possible to convert it into rational form again. If we know the decimal part completely, then for us it is easy to convert it to the rational form as we discussed earlier. And now for this case, the decimal part is not exactly known. There are some other digits in this decimal part, but we don't know them, okay? That's why it is impossible to convert these type of non-terminating, non-repeating decimals into P by Q form. And further in some other class, we are going to discuss about these non-terminating and non-repeating decimals as irrational numbers. Look at once again what we did in this class. We converted terminating to rational form, non-terminating, repeating to rational form, okay? And if you observe all these things, and in particular, if you pay your attention on these 3 decimal conversions, see, these 3 are the terminating decimals. And after converting these 3 terminating decimals into P by Q form, and further if you convert them as simplest form, and if you look at the denominators of all these rationals, simplest rational forms for the 3 terminating decimals. See, the denominators contains either 2 powers or 5 powers. That in the sense, the prime factors for the numbers in the denominator are just 2 or 5, or they may be both 2 and 5. But whereas if you look at this non-terminating repeating decimals, the denominator may be some other numbers, not only 2 and 5, right? See, with this idea, we are going to generalize a statement to identify which type of decimals are in P by Q form and which type of rationals are terminating decimals. And that's what we are going to generalize a general statement related to this using fundamental theorem of arithmetic in the next class. Look at the slide on your screen. It contains a few problems related to the rational numbers and decimals what we discussed in today's class. You need to practice all these problems.